Good morning, Cardinals. Today, we are going to continue our geography unit. We're going to finish up in about a week or a week and a half, looking at some geography components and geography skills. So far, we've looked at, if you think to our post assessment, which you took yesterday, we've looked at types of maps, parts of a map, regions of the world, regions of Asia and Africa, the continents, the oceans, the physical features, including landforms and waterways. And so we've really taken a broad aspect when looking at the world. And we're going to continue that trend by looking at today and tomorrow weather and climate. What do these two things mean? So we log into modules. We make our way down to today's module, which is weather versus climate. We always start with our bell work. We'll watch Scene 10 and you'll answer 2 questions as we've done previously. And then you hit that next tab. It takes you to today's Google slide. So what is weather and what is climate? You may think you know one or the other, but what are some similarities and differences they have? And then how do we categorize them? Those are things that you will learn today. So go to the next slide. Weather versus climate. What are they and how are they different? This is lesson number 10 of our geography unit here. Today's lesson objective. By the end of today's class, you should be able to repeat this sentence and be confident about your response. I can compare and contrast the two terms, weather and climate, by completing 2 brain pop assignments and a Canvas quiz. Your Canvas quiz today is 1 matching question. We'll go to our next slide. Brain pop. So you'll log into Brain Pop, complete the weather assignment, and complete the climate assignment, and then click next on Canvas to take you to the quiz. So we want to open up Brain Pop. First thing we do when we get here is log in. Log in through Clever. You may have to type your school name. Southport Middle School. It's the one at the bottom, MSD of Perry Township. Log in with Google. Click your name. You may have to put your password in. All right, so we get here, and yours will look different than mine, obviously, but you will have 2 assignments pop up. Okay, 2 assignments pop up. So let me go ahead and get into this here. All right. So the first assignment you guys are going to have today is a weather assignment. Okay, a weather assignment. So when we look at the weather assignment, review it as a student, you have 3 things to complete: the movie, the quiz, and the challenge. So let's take a look at these. Click the go feature for the movie. That's what we always do first. 3 minutes and 45 seconds for our weather movie here. After you've watched it, right, you click show details up here, and then we know that we want to go then to the weather movie quiz. Weather movie quiz, you come in, you click start. What is weather? The state of the atmosphere at any particular time. Weather is the state of the atmosphere at any particular time. If you guys look outside at any point in time today, the weather today is forecasted at rainy and thunderstorms with a high temperature. So it'll be in the 80s or 90s. Tomorrow may be cool and a chance of showers, right? So weather means what is the weather like right now or in the very, very near future, right? So 10, 14, 20 days, something like that. Right, so after you take the quiz, and it is that question, you'll move on to the challenge. And the challenge has multiple components, has a fill in the sentence, matching, a Venn diagram, and a multiple response. So just fill in the blank. The blank in one area can change a lot from day to day. Let's do weather. But the climate generally stays the same. Climate would be what is the temperature like, or what is the weather like in that area most of the time. Okay, and how do we figure that out? Because we look at data from over a long period of time. And so, like, for example, Indiana during August will almost always be hot, humid, and dry for the most part, right? When we talk about Seattle, Washington, the climate there is different than the climate we have here in Indiana, where it rains there nearly every day, right? So climate is what is the normal weather like in that area during any time throughout the year. Temperature is measured with a thermometer, and a barometer is used to measure air pressure. Severe storms, right, like we have today, are most likely to take place at fronts between high pressure and low pressure areas. Boom, we get that going. You then bump down to the next one, right? And so then you fill in the blank. Once you get done there, you're done, right? You'll then make your way back to assignments, and then you'll complete the climate types assignments. And this one's the same. Movie, quiz, challenge. Movie, quiz, challenge. Let's take a look really quickly here. 3 minutes and 57 seconds. So both videos under 4 minutes. Okay, we get into it. Climate types. We start our quiz. What is climate? So like we said, weather is the what's going on in the atmosphere at any particular time. Climate is an area's pattern of weather over a long period of time, right? So what is spring like in Indiana? Spring is, rainy and cool, right? That's the normal type of climate in Indiana, the pattern of weather during the spring season. We know that because we've measured it over a period of time. Once you get done with the quiz, we complete our challenge, which will be about the same thing. Venn diagram, matching, diagram label, fill in sentence, right? So then we have this here, right? So what's the difference between weather and climate? Comparing and contrasting, meeting our lesson objective. So consistent pattern over time, right? We know that is probably going to be both, or climate, right? You guys will get this here. Limited to a specific location, covers large geographical areas, 5 major types on Earth, can change from day to day, describes conditions of the atmosphere, both, right? And then you keep going, right? So from here, once you're done with the challenge, right, you'll exit out. You'll submit it and exit out, and you come down here and click next. It takes you to today's quiz, which is just a 1-question matching quiz. An area's pattern of weather over a long period of time, is that weather or is that climate? The condition of the atmosphere at any point in time, for example, today's forecast calls for thunderstorms, is that weather or is that climate? Once you're done, you will submit your quiz, and that is all for you today. Feel free to look up anything additional on your own. This is just the general we need to know before we get into climate types tomorrow. All right. Hey, have a good day, all. Miss y'all. Love y'all.